Her little daughter was sleeping in a tiny room while she sat in front of an old typewriter, writing what felt like her final hope. She had no stable job, her marriage had ended, and publisher after publisher had rejected her story, but she had no idea that one day, the entire world would know its name. In 1990, J.K. Rowling was sitting on a delayed train when the idea of a young boy attending a magical school suddenly appeared in her mind. She did not even have a pen with her, so she stared out of the window and tried to remember every detail, the boy, the school, and the mysterious magical world growing inside her imagination. That boy's name was Harry Potter. Getting the idea was easy. Turning it into a book was not. Over the next few years, Rowling lost her mother, moved to Portugal, got married, and became the mother of a little girl. Then her marriage ended. She returned to Scotland carrying her daughter, a suitcase, and a few unfinished chapters of Harry Potter. Now she was a struggling single mother with no stable income, but she still had three things: her daughter, an old typewriter, and an unfinished story. When it became difficult to write at home, she took her daughter to nearby cafes. Her daughter would fall asleep in the stroller while Rowling sat at a small table, creating new pages of her magical world. She had no guarantee that anyone would ever publish the book. She did not know whether children would even want to read it, but she knew that if she stopped writing, she would lose the last dream she had left. After years of work, she finally completed the manuscript and began sending it to publishers. The answers came back again and again. No sum. Publishers believed children would not read such a long book. Others simply did not believe the story would succeed. Every rejection made her question whether her dream was foolish. Maybe the book was not good enough. Maybe she had wasted years of her life, but she did not lock the manuscript inside a drawer. She sent it out again, and then again. Finally, a small publishing company called Bloomsbury decided to take a chance. In June 1997, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published. At first, no one expected it to become something extraordinary, but children began entering Harry's world. Then, their parents started reading it. Soon, the book reached other countries, and the unfinished story of a struggling single mother became one of the most famous book series in history. The woman who had once struggled to pay her bills had created a magical world known by millions of people. The manuscript that had been rejected repeatedly became a worldwide success. Years later, Rowling explained that there had been a time when she considered herself a complete failure, but losing almost everything had forced her to focus on the one thing that mattered most to her: writing. The publishers who rejected her only saw a risky children's book. She saw a lonely boy, a magical school, and a story she refused to abandon. And that old typewriter in a tiny room became the starting point of a world that millions of readers would never forget. If your greatest dream was rejected again and again, would you give